Yo, what's up, guys? So, in today's video, I'm talking about the power of the gratitude mindset. And I wanted to make this video because recently, I wouldn't say recently, the last few months, I've been implementing this in my life, and it made such a big impact because before this change I made and perspective shift, I really was like unhappy in my life. I was like, always trying to hustle to make money and like I'm not where I want to be and like I wish I was further on. I wish I had more money. And then all of a sudden I started practicing gratitude more, and it sounds very cliche. It sounds stupid, but ever since I added it into my life, I'm way more peaceful, way more calm. Like the first thing I do when I wake up, I think about what I'm grateful for, and it honestly sets the mood for the entire day. I feel so calm and it's like very peaceful. It's like hard to explain, but once you practice it more in the morning, especially me waking up very early too, it is like one of the most peaceful times of the day. So I made this PowerPoint for you. The power of the gratitude mindset. Transform your life through perspective. Now, you have to keep in mind gratitude and perspective go hand in hand because you either look at something a different way, look at your life a different way, or look at it through someone else's shoes. Discover how shifting your perspective towards gratitude can fundamentally change your experience of life, even during challenging times. Why gratitude matters, especially when life feels hard. Even in our toughest moments, perspective can be transformative. Consider what you still have. Now, I can't sit here and say whoever's watching this video doesn't have these things, so I'm just going to put it in my perspective, and I hopefully you have the same gifts as these things I'm about to go over. So, whenever I feel down or I feel behind, or if I'm just like, oh, like, why is this happening to me? Why am I going through this certain hard, difficult time? I always remind myself that it could be worse. That's like, it sounds cliche too. It could always be worse, but like, it really could. Even I'm going to share this too. Today at work, earlier today, I seen someone getting pushed in a wheelchair. Their neck was like looking up. They couldn't move. They had a caregiver taking care of them, pushing them on the sidewalk. And the feeling it made me feel was just so uncomfortable. I was like, I felt bad for that person, but at the same time, I'm like, what if that was me? What if I couldn't walk down the street? What if I couldn't move my head? Like, it just, it drives me crazy to like think like that, but at the same time it makes me grateful. Like, say if I'm not where I want to be, say if you personally, you're not financially where you want to be, you're not in the relationship you want, you're not in the physical body, like either if it's going to the gym or whatever, you could still walk, you're still alive, you're still free. If you're watching this video, I'd imagine you're not in prison right now. And that's another reason that sparked the idea for this video. My mentor dropped a video of him getting out of prison because he was in prison for 10 years. And the amount of gratitude he has is unbelievable because you don't realize the things you have until it's taken away from you, either if it's walking or when you get put in prison, you can't just walk to the store and go to the deli. You can't do certain things. You have to follow their structure and their system. So when things are taken away from you, you realize how good you have it. So I'm going to go over the things that I have. Hopefully you have it as well. One is your health. I'm not sick. I'm not paralyzed. So at the end of the day, someone that was in that position would kill to be in my position to, like, say if you couldn't walk. I could walk to the store, I could walk to work. Like, it sounds stupid because when you walk every single day, you're so used to it. But, like, say if you got in an accident and now you can't walk anymore, like, that hurts. Now you miss just the feeling of just walking with your family to the restaurant or walking to the supermarket. But when you have it every single day, you don't think of that stuff. But, like, say if you pass someone that's going through something like that, where you remind yourself, it doesn't even have to be on a daily basis. Just once in a while, you remind yourself how grateful you are. It makes you just appreciate, and, like, also not only that, whatever situation you're in, you try to make the best of it, because everyone has different situations watching this video, but at least you know, all right, these are the things I do have, instead of focusing on what I don't have. And you take more action because, like, you're more resourceful in a way because you have certain things, and it's like you want to take advantage of that. So, number one is your health. Number two is freedom. I'm not in prison right now. I'm in my house. I'm recording this video. Blessed. Your life. You're not dead right now because you want to be watching this video. So, another thing I want to go over is in 2020, I was 20 years old. I was riding my motorcycle and I went around a turn at 80 miles an hour. So, say I'm going like this, I looked up, someone popped a U turn as fast as they can. So, my life was almost over within a second. I wouldn't even say a second, like a millisecond. Like, in my head, I was like, yeah, like, it's over. I'm going straight into this car. And I just missed it. So, for a year straight, until I'll make a different video about this, but, like, literally a year straight, I was in this shock of, like, just like, wow, I almost died. So, like, every single day I lived like it was my last day. And in a way, it was a little too intense because I just didn't, I was just very impulsive. Like, I would think of a decision, just be like, yeah, I'm doing this. Like, because I was like, dude, I almost died. So every single day I was like, wow, I'm still alive. So since 2020 to now, 2025, the amount of things I've done since then is unbelievable. And I'm grateful for that because I could have died in 2020. So the last one is your time. Now, I want you to imagine a concept of, say there is a 95-year-old billionaire, bunch of assets, cars, all the money you could have, everything, but he's 95 years old. I'm 25. I guarantee you he will trade all of his money just to be 25 again. So you have to keep that in mind too. Like, I remember even Ed Milet said this. He's like 50 something, mid 50s, and a kid called in. He was like in his teens or early 20s, and he was like, I just want you to keep in mind, I would trade everything I have just to be in your position. So that's something else you should be grateful for. Now, gratitude changes your brain and your body. There's things when I could justify this, I'm not a scientist. I just looked at some different studies, but for my own personal use, when I implement gratitude in my life, like I said, I feel more calm and stress free. And it's because studies say it releases dopamine in your brain when you think of gratitude and you think of grateful things that you have in your life. So it lowers stress, it makes you more calm. And also, I feel like this kind of goes in play because stress is a very big cause, like killer. It could cause heart attacks. It can mess up your immune system. There's a lot. When I found out that stress did all these things to your body, I was like, wow, that's crazy. Like your mind can affect your body, but it is true. So just because gratitude lowers your stress, that then goes into stress reduction can improve your body. So studies show grateful people experience improved heart health, better sleep quality, stronger immune function, and reduced inflammation. So the way your mind operates, you have to keep in mind that could affect your body as well. So, like I said in the past slide, it could reduce stress, it could reduce depression. Also, your happiness and just your joy in your life. Like I could say this for my example too. When you're just grateful every day, like when you wake up or you just look at something little like the sunset, or you go to like get ice cream or something little like that, it makes your life so much more enjoyable. So you got to keep in mind too, all these things I go over my channel, either if it's mindset or self development or certain tactics, you have to practice it over and over again. The more you do it, it's like a muscle. It's like going to the gym. The more you practice it, the better you'll get at it. So a lot of these tips and mindset things I share with you, it's not like it happens overnight. You just got to practice it more and more. Like I said, when I wake up in the morning now, it's like second nature. It's just what I do as soon as I like feel consciousness, or like as soon as my alarm goes off and I'm lying there, like that's the first thing I think of. And it's like I don't really do it on purpose now, it's just automatic. So keep that in mind. And then focus shift. The percentage of participants who reported shifting from negative rumination to present moment awareness. So this ties into what I was saying too. I'm very determined and motivated to be a better version of myself, and that goes financially too. So I was always tied up in the future, like, oh, I want to make this much money. I want to get another faster car. I want to do this. I want to get a different motorcycle. And then I'm like, dude, I have so many nice things already. Like, let me just live in the moment and enjoy the process of me getting there instead of just focused in the future. Like, the future is not here yet. It's not real. The past is done. The present is like what's real. So you have to just be grateful where you're at right now, even if you're struggling. The perspective shift, seeing what's right in your life. Scarcity to abundance. Gratitude rewires your brain to notice what you have rather than what you're lacking, creating sense of richness in your everyday experience. Finding small joys, a grateful mindset helps you appreciate simple pleasures. Morning coffee, a kind text, your pets that might otherwise go unnoticed. So little things, like I said earlier, like just seeing the sunset, being with your pets, family, whatever. You're so used to this on a daily basis, you don't really realize it. But like when you really take a step back and see all the things you have rather than what you're lacking, it just makes you enjoy it more. And then boosting your self worth. As comparison fades, self acceptance grows. Grateful people report higher self esteem and reduced social comparison. Now, this is a big one because I struggled with this in the past too. Like I said, if you're very motivated and determined to get better, you're going to see people successful. Like social media is everywhere. You see people making thousands of dollars, like say 10,000, 20,000 a month. And you're like, damn, why am I not there yet? And you compare yourself instead of being like, listen, I'm at where I'm at right now. I'm grateful and I trust the process. Instead of focusing on what other people have, you have to deal with the cards you're dealt with and just enjoy the process. Eventually, you're going to get there, but you have to trust the process and be in the present moment. Your perspective becomes your reality. Choose gratitude and watch your world transform. Gratitude strengthens relationships and social bonds. So, this is something that came up when I was doing my research, and basically I feel like I try to like do a little research and then also compare it to my own personal experience. But basically, I feel like what this is trying to explain is that, like I said, if you have a pet, if you have a family, or the close friendships you have, you're more grateful for them because you're like, what if I didn't have these? What if I didn't have this relationship? So it almost makes you treat them differently. Like, instead of being ungrateful or not appreciating someone, you'll treat them worse than if you were grateful and you did appreciate them. So, like I said, everyone watching this video might be going through something. Like, that's just the way life is. So, even when life is tough, finding silver linings. Acknowledge reality. Gratitude doesn't ignore hardship or suffering, it acknowledges them while also making space for hope. Finding the lesson. Every challenge contains potential growth. Grateful people ask, what can I learn from this? How might this make me stronger? So, this kind of ties into growth mindset, and I really improve this as well. Is instead of being like, why is this happening to me? Why do I have to go through this? Just be like, how can this make me better? What can I learn from this? And really, like I said, the cards are dealt with. Just embrace it. You can't change it, and do not control things you can't control. Just do what you're dealt with and try the best you can, and just be like, how can I learn from this? Like, you don't want life to be too easy. You want to just become stronger so you could deal with anything. And this goes into the next one: build resilience. Gratitude creates emotional resources that help you bounce back from adversity with greater strength. And then choose your outlook. Remember, gratitude is a choice that can transform your experience no matter your circumstances. So, what that is explaining, that last line right there, is this tool I'm giving you is free. Like, you could start implementing this in your life, even though it does take practice and it does take time, it'll get better over time. Like I said, when I wake up, it's like second nature now. But first off, it's free. And second off, whatever cards you're dealt with right now, it could actually just make an impact right now. Like, you could literally watch this video in the next few months. You could be more stress free and calm and look at your life in a different way just because you practice gratitude. Simple daily practices to cultivate gratitude. Gratitude journal. Write down 3 things you're thankful for each day. Be specific. My comfortable bed rather than just my home. So, this is a big believer, I think, having a journal and just having a notebook in general is just like an amazing thing to have. I always write things down because not only does it clear your mind, but it's just, I don't know, like, pen to paper is different from like putting notes in your phone or on a computer. Like, I like to just write it down, but just write like 3 or 5 things you're grateful for. Like, it could be my dog. I'm grateful for the health I have. I'm grateful for the job I have, or something that lines up with your life and the cards you're dealt with right now. Express appreciation. Say thank you sincerely, write gratitude notes, or perform small acts of kindness to show others that they matter. So, This also goes into the relationship aspect of when you're grateful, you also know that like even though you're going through something, someone else could be going through something. So when I go to like a restaurant or if I come across someone on the street, I try to be respectful because it's like you don't know what they're going through. So that ties into that. And then mindful moments. Pause throughout the day to notice positive experiences, the taste of food, the warmth of the sunshine, and a moment of laughter. So these little things, like, we're used to it. We're kind of like immune to it. Like when you go outside and it's an amazing day, so you live in a place where the weather's always great, or you have the freedom to do things, when that stuff is taken away from you, just like my mentor that went to prison, when this stuff is stripped away from you, you realize how important and how grateful you are to have it. So it ties, literally, gratitude and perspective tie into each other. So when you look at things through a different perspective, like if I didn't have this, or if I didn't have any money, or if I didn't have a place to live or stay, it really just puts you in this mindful state of like, wow, instead of looking at all the things I don't have, I have so much. And like I said, it takes time to build this up. So you want to start small, just 5 minutes a day, and practice this daily or 10 minutes, whatever. You don't need to spend an hour on this. Just a little thing can literally impact your whole day. And then the ripple effect, how gratitude transforms your life. Improve mental health, improve physical well being, enhance motivation, stronger relationships, and just a positive feedback. So all of these tie into each other. And the more one thing gets better, the other thing gets better, and it's just like a compound effect. So this is just one aspect of your mindset. And there's so many different things I'm going to go over this channel. And the more you add things to your mindset, it's like building up a vault. Like I practice my gratitude, then I practice something else, and then next thing you know, you're making your mindset more advanced. Embrace gratitude today. Change your life one thought at a time. So I put this quote in here. Gratitude turns what we have into enough and more. Turns denial into acceptance, chaos into order, confusion into clarity. It makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. So I want you to challenge yourself to just wake up tomorrow and put 5 minutes out of your day and just write down what you're grateful for. And then after you do that, moving forward, you don't even have to write something down. You could just be at work, you could be at the gym, and just take 5 minutes out of your day and think, what am I grateful for? And then after a while, you don't even have to do this. It becomes second nature, and you just start living your life in accordance with this. And it's like you won't even think about it. You'll just be more grateful automatically. So that's like the summons of my whole little slide thing I made you. Bear with me because I've just been practicing slides. Like this is kind of like a new format I've been trying. But yeah, like I said, my whole channel is based on self-development and mindset. And the reason I started the channel is because I want people to hit their full potential. Like I don't want you guys to die an average version of yourself. So when you add these certain things in and you're more self-aware, you'll realize how many people don't do this. So when I go out in the day and I see how people live their life and I see how they think and their mindset is, just little changes and things you add like this change so much. Because like for the most part, 90% of people don't work on their mindset. 90% of people don't work on their self development. So if you're watching this channel, I congratulate you. And I'm going to try my best to bring as much information and value as I can. So, peace out. Let's get it.